Should you go for the new coconutty Valentino Purple Melancholia or the Le Beau fragrances? And is Purple Melancholia worth getting if you already own any of the Le Beau fragrances? I've received a bunch of different questions about Purple Melancholia and the Le Beau fragrances, so let's talk about it. In this video we are going to go through what the new Purple Melancholia smells like, and the three coconut focused Le Beau fragrances, which are the original Eau de Toilette, Le Beau Le Parfum and Le Beau Paradise Garden. How are they similar, what are the differences, and do they make each other redundant or not? I'm also going to share my thoughts on the performance and how to spray them. This is your quick guide to these coconutty fragrances for men, and by the end of it you'll know which one is the right for you. By the way, if you appreciate this video and found it helpful, then a like on it is highly appreciated, thank you. A like on the video really helps me create new videos for you. So let's begin with what they smell like and start with the new Purple Melancholia. So Purple Melancholia has cardamom, coconut, lavender and amberwood. And you get a spice kick in the opening together with a gorgeous dose of aromatic freshness and brightness from lavender. So you get a spicy warmth with fresh lavender. The more it moves away from the opening, the more you get a creamy dose of coconut together with a bit of sweetness. The dry down and what Purple Melancholia is really all about is a mix of a super creamy dose of coconut together with a bit of sweetness and soft woodiness. And the whole thing is amber with the lavender adding a bit of fresh contrast. The main star here is the creamy coconut and the co-star is the lavender. I love lavender and I'm a bit obsessed with coconut, so I do think this is a fantastic combination. Performance is solid and on my skin it does last quite a while with a noticeable projection for at least a couple of hours. The performance is actually better than quite a few of the other ones in the Born in Roma line, and I usually go with about 5 to 8 sprays of this. The vibe here is flirty and sexy for sure. The coconut brings it a casual, fun and playful vibe. So let's move on to the original Le Beau Eau de Toilette, and it's basically a mix of freshness and sweetness with coconut and vanilla. It's citrusy, vanillic and intensely coconutty in a fresh, ambery and sweet blend. So at the core of the Le Beau fragrances, with the exception of Flower Edition, which is the reason why it's not in this video, is what I think is the signature Le Beau Scent DNA, which is basically a mix of sweet vanilla and coconut. And to my nose, the original is the Le Beau with the most intense dose of coconut and vanilla together with a dose of citrusy freshness. The performance when talking about projection is really good, but its intensity only lasts for about an hour or so, especially on warm days. So I do recommend reapplying it throughout the day if you want others to notice it. I usually bring an atomizer with me to top it up, and that's definitely one of the reasons why I often get compliments with it when I wear it. The vibe of it is extremely casual, fun and flirty, and to me Le Beau Eau de Toilette is summer and sunshine in a bottle. The original has been part of my summer fragrance rotation since I bought it. It's also been among some of my top summer compliment getters, and I've been through multiple bottles of it. So let's move on to Le Beau Le Parfum. Le Beau Le Parfum is where I feel they basically took the original and made it deeper, richer and more nuanced with more layers to it. And to me it's basically a woody scent with sweet vanilla and coconut. You also get an additional dose of fruitiness with pineapple that in a way makes it feel even more tropical. Le Beau Le Parfum opens up quite spicy and fruity and then goes into a woody, ambery and sweet dry down with the coconut and vanilla from the original. It has a slightly different tropical vibe compared to the EDT with its pineapple. It's also less fresh and its prominent woodiness pushes that fantastic coconut at least a little bit behind it, while it's still very noticeable. Le Beau Le Parfum to my nose stands out with its prominent woodiness and its more complex and warmer scent. The performance is really good, but you gotta remember that it's also the least fresh scent in the line, with more depth to it for sure. Compared to the original, I don't often top it up, as it usually lasts longer and since I often wear it more during summer nights and not on warm summer days. And I usually spray anywhere from 4 to 10 sprays. The woodiness and richer scent gives it a bit more mature and refined vibe, while the coconut keeps its playful vibe, and I do think Le Beau Le Parfum is perfect for date nights or going out. And moving on to Le Beau Paradise Garden. Once again we get a signature scent DNA, but how it's used in Paradise Garden is so different if you compare it to the Eau de Toilette or the Le Parfum. It keeps the vanilla coconut combo from the EDT but changes its citrusy freshness to an intensely green, aquatic and minty one. It has mint in it, which definitely makes its freshness pop. There's also a bit of saltiness to its freshness, and fig adds a bit of a twist to it all. And it has a bit of the creamy smooth woodiness from Le Beau Le Parfum in the dry down. And very simplified, Paradise Garden could be described as Le Beau made greener and more intensely fresh with a less intense dose of vanilla and sweetness. The freshness is definitely different compared to the original, and I do feel it's a more nuanced scent compared to the Eau de Toilette, but it doesn't have the depth of the Le Parfum. I do think Paradise Garden is the most balanced Le Beau, even though it put focus on coconut and vanilla. The combination of intense freshness and woodiness definitely brings balance to the whole thing, and it's definitely the most intensely fresh Le Beau with a nuanced dose of freshness. Performance on my skin is good for sure, with a noticeable and solid projection for at least like the first few hours, and it lasts a long time even under the sun. And I usually spray anywhere from 6 to 10 times. The vibe here is definitely summertime adventure, and to me it's a happy summer days kind of scent. So what are the similarities and differences? The main similarity is coconut. You are going to get a dose of coconut from all four. That coconut is not exactly the same though, and it almost feels more creamy in Purple Melancholia. The main difference is the lack of vanilla in Purple Melancholia. Vanilla often adds a lot of mass appeal and often a bit of sweetness to a scent, but I don't see its lack of it as a bad thing. I actually appreciate that it's different in that way, and that's also one reason why it might not be redundant to own Purple Melancholia and any of the Le Beaux. Comparing Purple Melancholia to Le Beau EDT, you get a different freshness with lavender instead of citrus, and that right away makes it very different. And you don't get the vanilla in here, which also makes it different. So comparing Purple Melancholia to the original Le Beau EDT, I don't feel it's redundant to have both unless all you want is a fragrance with coconut. Then it's enough to have just one. If you love and sort of obsess about coconut though, to me they give a different experience. If you love lavender, then the choice is easy. But if you prefer coconut with vanilla, then Le Beau Eau de Toilette is the one. Comparing Purple Melancholia with Le Beau Le Parfum, again, there's no vanilla in here, so there's a difference for sure. Purple Melancholia's fresh lavender pulls it in a different direction, and it doesn't have the depth and all the layers that Le Beau Le Parfum has. So again, if you only want coconut, then you can go for either of these. And if you love the scent of lavender, then it definitely makes more sense to go with Purple Melancholia. But if you prefer your coconut with vanilla and woodiness, then Le Beau Le Parfum makes more sense. I do feel they are different, but if I would pick one in the Le Beau line that I feel Purple Melancholia has more sort of a similarities to, then it would be Le Beau Le Parfum. Comparing Purple Melancholia to Le Beau Paradise Garden, I do feel they are incredibly different. Yes, both have coconut, but the intense and quite nuanced dose of freshness that Le Beau Paradise Garden has pulls it in a very different direction. The focus on coconut and lavender in Purple Melancholia makes it different for sure. Here the choice is very easy. If you want maximum freshness with coconut, then it's definitely Paradise Garden. To me, on a warm day when I want something coconutty and intensely fresh, Paradise it is. But again, if you want coconut and absolutely love the scent of lavender, then it's Purple. You will not get something as fresh as Paradise Garden though. So by now we covered a lot of things to make it easy for you to understand which might be the one for you, but let's make it even easier. If you just want coconut, then you can definitely go for any. But if you love lavender, then it's definitely Purple. If you prefer vanilla instead of lavender, then it's any of the three Le Beaux. And out of the three Le Beaux, the original Eau de Toilette is the best if you want maximum vanilla and coconut. Le Parfum is the best if you want something that's richer and more nuanced, with a prominent dose of woodiness balancing up the coconut and vanilla. Paradise Garden is the best if you want the most intensely fresh version of Le Beau with a nuanced dose of freshness together with coconut and vanilla. As someone who's kind of obsessed with the scent of coconut, I do not feel it's redundant to have Purple Melancholia and the Le Beaux. I mean, the Le Beaux, while sharing some similarities, are different, and Purple Melancholia is not like the Le Beaux. But with that said, having them all, if you're not as obsessed as I am, is not necessary. And which one is the best for you really depends on which scents and notes you enjoy more. But as long as you absolutely love the scent of coconut, they are all definitely among some of the very best. So there you go. I hope you found this helpful, and please do share your thoughts on this in the comments. And make sure you like and subscribe for more, and please do make sure you check out my best Le Beau for summer video over here.